Oh hey, welcome back. I'm in the process of reviewing every single aftermarket offset bridge, and today I'm really excited to have the newest offset bridge on the market. The Offset Bridge by Offset Guitars UK. Today is a first look going over my initial impressions of the bridge, and then in due course I'll be publishing a really detailed, in-depth review of the bridge once I've put it through its paces. Designed and assembled in the UK, the Offset Bridge retails for under £100. On the surface of it, it looks very much like an upgraded Staytrem. However, it has a 304 stainless steel base plate, just like a Mastery, and it features H59 brass saddles with a precise 90-degree string groove, a 52.5mm string spacing, and very fine tolerances between the saddle and the intonation screw. The threaded portion of the legs are 30% larger than on a traditional offset bridge, and these legs come with Loctite pre-applied to them to make sure that they're never going to fall down or sink over time. And these are adjusted with a mini screwdriver rather than an Allen key, and this comes included with the bridge. The legs also have really sharp points on the bottom, which should make for a really excellent rocking action. The legs appear to be super sturdy, and given these specs, we shouldn't expect to see any bridge sinking issues with this unit whatsoever. The bridge also features notches in the base under the flight path of the strings to ensure that the strings never make any unwanted contact with the bass, no matter how wacky your whammy bar use. The package includes a pair of 3D printed bushings for people who want a non-rocking bridge experience, and these are made with way finer tolerances than the Fender American Professional style bushings that you can get online. So these should make for a far superior non-rocking bridge experience. There's currently two versions of the bridge, one where just the outer two saddles are anchored like the current Staytrem design, or an alternative version where all 6 saddles are individually anchored. The bridge also comes in 2 finish options, a brushed look and a polished look. The bridge is currently only being offered in a 9.5-inch radius. However, in time, if there's sufficient demand, those options may be expanded to offer some additional radii. So, moving on from specs to aesthetic, the first thing you'll notice about this bridge is that it comes in a really lovely wooden display box, and it's packaged with good old-fashioned hay inside. So do be careful when you open it because you might make a terrible mess like I did. I think the combination of the brushed steel base and the brass saddles looks really killer, and it also has other nice aesthetic touches like the logo and the radius being stamped on the bottom, which again looks really nice. You might assume that the legs are removable from those domes on the top which conceal the bridge height adjustment mechanism. However, that isn't the case, but they do give the bridge a very sleek and modern look. Overall, I think it looks really nice. There are some definite similarities with the Staytrem and Descendant companion bridges, but I think this has just enough of its own unique features to set it apart and give it its own look. Moving on to the things that really matter, we're now on to the topic of the feel of the bridge. And this is where the bridge starts to get really impressive. It feels super sturdy and well made, and has a very rugged and premium feel when held in the hand. In fact, in terms of quality and overall vibe, it has a very similar feel in the hand to the KMS Jam bridge, which costs nearly twice as much as the Offset bridge. So the guys at Offset Guitars UK are doing a great job to get such a premium and solid feeling bridge at such an affordable price point. On that note, I have to say it does feel much more heavy duty and rugged than the Staytrem as well, which is really nice to see considering they have clearly similar influences and are in a similar price bracket. Everything feels very well anchored and fixed in place, and there's no buzzing or rattling on it when you poke it or shake it around, which is all super impressive and encouraging. I want to make a quick visual comparison here between two bridges which, on the surface, you might be tempted to think have a lot in common with the Offset bridge. And particularly here, I want to focus on the saddle design. Now, if you're a cynical person, you might be having one of two thoughts. Firstly, that this is just a rip-off of the Staytrem but with brass saddles, or that this is a super cheap bridge like the EY Guitars brass saddle Mustang bridge with 52mm string spacing, but made to look a bit more fancy and sold at a significant upcharge. Well, let's quickly examine both of these cynical viewpoints. First of all, is this a Staytrem ripoff? Well, no. Firstly, it has a number of unique features that the Staytrem doesn't have, particularly the threaded inner leg being 30% larger than a traditional bridge like the Staytrem and having a super sharp and robust pointed end. Secondly, the saddles on the Staytrem bridge feature a U-shaped groove on the E, A and D strings and a V-shaped groove on the G, B and E strings, whereas the offset bridge features 90-degree V-shaped grooves on all 6 saddles. This is definitely a point in the offset bridge's favour over the Staytrem because having those V-shaped grooves on the E, A and D strings are likely to produce a better grip on the string, which will make the bridge rock more effectively, but it will also produce a more precise behind the bridge note. A third point of difference between the offset bridge and the Staytrem is that the Staytrem is constructed using bent steel, whereas the offset bridge is created from milled steel. This means that the offset bridge starts out life as one big block of steel and all the unnecessary material is taken away until it reaches its desired form. This subtractive process is generally considered to be a far superior construction technique and to produce a far more durable and superior end product. Okay, and is this just a cheap bridge then, like the EY Guitar's brass saddle Mustang bridge? No, it's not. Apart from the obvious fact that this is made out of much higher quality materials, the offset bridge is also different to any other brass saddled Mustang bridge that I've seen. While it does share the 90-degree V groove of a Mustang bridge, this isn't your typical 90-degree Mustang saddle groove. If you look at a traditional Mustang bridge, the 90-degree string groove tends to be very wide, and this is why people generally prefer a 60-degree V groove because the smaller angle will grip the string better because it pinches it more. However, while the offset bridge does have a 90-degree groove, it's a much narrower groove than you traditionally see on a Mustang bridge, and in theory, this should also help to grip the string a lot better. And I'm really looking forward to trying out this particular design and seeing just how grippy it is. Okay, so that wraps up our quick first look at the offset bridge. It seems to be a really promising bridge that appears to punch way above its weight. It feels so premium, so robust and solid, and I'm really excited to see this bridge at this particular price point. In due course, I'm going to put it through all my usual testing and I'm going to come up with a really thorough, detailed review so that you can know if this is the right bridge for you. If you've got any questions about this particular bridge, please do let me know in the comments. By the time I publish the full review, I'm hoping to have both versions to compare side by side. And if you have anything particular that you want me to cover in the full review, please do let me know. Cool, so this was just a quick one today. I'm going to start maybe doing these first impression videos in between my regular video slots, just because I'm starting to get sent some more bridges now, and I want to get that initial look out quite quickly, and then work on the really detailed, thorough review over a period of a few months. That way you're seeing these bridges as quick as possible, but also I'm not compromising on the depth or detail of the reviews that I'm going to make. Cool. All right then. Well, until next time, take it easy, look after yourselves, and we'll see each other again soon.